Are y'all ready for some yummy fall desserts? I know that we are. I love anything and everything pumpkin. Although today I'm going to make more than just pumpkin recipes. Hey y'all, I'm Mandy and this is Mandy in the Making. The last time I was in my Sam's Club, I saw this magazine. It is the Taste of Home's Everything Pumpkin. So I grabbed it, and of course all of their recipes are also online, so I will link any of the recipes I'm making today. The first recipe we're making is called Surprise Pumpkin Cupcakes. This is baking cupcakes from scratch. I'm not a baker. It looks easy enough. Famous last words. Let's get started by preheating the oven to 350. So apparently this is what they should look like. Let's hope that mine look that good. We can just hope. I'm gonna use my KitchenAid mixer. Are you proud? I am. I have a 15-ounce can of pumpkin puree. This is not the pumpkin pie filling. To our pumpkin, we are adding 2 cups of sugar, 1 cup of canola oil, and 4 eggs at room temperature. And let's just stir this until it's good and combined. Now here in this small bowl, we're gonna add in 2 cups of flour. This is just all-purpose flour. In this little bowl here, I have 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and a half a teaspoon of salt. Let's add that in here. And then lastly, we're supposed to add in 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. I'm using 2 teaspoons of pumpkin pie filling instead. Let's just whisk all of this together, just combine it really well. And then we're gonna gradually add it into our pumpkin mixture. And there we go. And now in this bowl, I'm gonna add a block of cream cheese. I wish this was more softened than it is. When I'm filming this, we still do not have a microwave. I think when you see this video, we do have a microwave again, but we're just gonna have to work with what we've got. So I've got 1 8-ounce block of cream cheese and then 1/3 cup of sugar. Let's beat that together. Now we're just gonna add in 1 egg at room temperature and just beat it on low until it's combined. That is our cream cheese filling. I wanted to thank Warby Parker for sponsoring this portion of today's video. If you've been around for a while, it is no secret that I have a strong love for Warby Parker glasses. They offer more than glasses, I'll explain that in a second, but I've been ordering Warby Parker glasses for the better part of 4 years, I'm pretty sure. I've got this pair. If you're wondering, these right here, they have been my most popular one with you guys. Y'all ask about them the most, asking me what type of glasses these are, and they are the Amelia. This pair, and I'm pretty sure I have 1 more pair. I just couldn't locate them right now. They're floating around here somewhere. Warby Parker offers everything that you need for happier eyes. They offer eyeglasses, sunglasses, contact lenses, and eye exams. You can shop online or in store. One thing that appealed to me when I first heard about Warby Parker was the in-home try-on. I'll tell you more about that in just a second, but their glasses start at $95 and that includes prescription lenses. Okay, I'm gonna leave a link for you below. It's just warbyparker.com/Mandy, and you can go there and you can do their little quiz there so that they know what types of things that you're looking for, whether you're looking for eyeglasses or sunglasses, and kind of what your preferences are. It's a very quick quiz that you take. It just makes it that much easier for you to go through and pick out which glasses you want them to send you for your in-home try-on, because they have a lot of different styles and options, and you can kind of narrow it down with that quiz. So once you pick out your 5 frames, they will mail them to you at no cost, no obligation to purchase. You try them on and decide which ones you like, don't like, if any at all. Then at that point, you just put the return shipping label back on it, which they already send you. It's prepaid. Pop that on there, send it back to them. You've paid $0. I've been doing this for years. It is wonderful. I love their glasses. I've had them for almost 4 years. Not a single one of them has a scratch on them. They are all in great condition. I have 5 new frames to try, and I'm gonna let y'all kind of help me be the judge as to which one or ones I should order. So here's the box that came in the mail. All 5 frames individually wrapped in there. Our first ones are the Clemens. What do we think? I think they're cute. The second one is the Welty Medium. And the particular color this is the Whiskey Tortoise. Very cute. All right, I like those. Number 3, we have the Chase Medium in the Driftwood Fade. Oh, this is like the two-tone. Ooh, those are cute. I kind of like the two-tone. I saw somebody with these out when I was at my dentist office not too long ago. The two-tone glasses, and I thought that's really cute. Number 4 is the Brady. Oh, these are also two-tone. Oh, I love those. They're like blue underneath. Those are adorable. Those might be my favorites. And lastly, this is the Amelia in a different color. What color is this? Elderflower Crystal. They're a really light color. I mean, they're not my favorite on my face. I'm gonna be really honest. I like the frame, the shape of it, but the color is not, I'm not vibing with that, I don't think. You'll have to let me know. Which of those did you like the most? So be sure to check them out. I will leave the link in the description box. It's just warbyparker.com/Mandy, and you can take the quiz and get 5 pair of glasses sent to you for free for an in-home try-on. This should make 1.5 dozens. I'll have to, I don't have 2 muffin pans, so I'll just have to do it twice. But I am going to spray my liners with a little bit of this spray. I do not have the best luck with muffin liners. Let me know if you have the same problem. Mine always stick severely, so let's see if spraying it with a little bit of this baking spray works. This is, I don't want to say this is tedious, but you just have to pay attention to what you're doing. I've got 2 different size scoops here. I'm going to use this larger scoop for the cupcake batter. We're going to fill each liner 1/3 of the way full. I'm really hoping it's going to drop down in there. There we go. And then we'll come back with our cream cheese mixture, and then we'll finish up with a little more of the cupcake batter. Now we only need about a tablespoon amount of the cream cheese filling, and we're just going to drop that on each cupcake. So I'm not quite filling this entire scooper up. Now that we've got all of our cream cheese middles in, let's go in and just cover up with the remaining batter. Okay, I'm gonna put the remaining batter in the fridge while we wait, because these are going in the oven. I just stuck my finger all in the pumpkin stuff. Great, wonderful. These are going in the oven at 350 for 20 to 25 minutes. Wash hands. Ugh. So I'm gonna insert a toothpick, and the pumpkin filling part should come out clean. Oh, we're good. These are perfect. So now I'm gonna dust them with just a little bit of confectioner sugar or powdered sugar, and we're gonna let them cool here in the pan for 10 minutes before I transfer them to a wire rack.
A little surprise in here.
Oh, okay, it did good. So show them that it didn't stick to the thing too much. I did spray those, so it helped.
This is mine, right?
Yeah.
I get to bite into it by myself.
Clemson is about to start. It is Saturday. We're in a time crunch. These are still hot, so be careful.
Don't burn me up, isn't it?
Yeah. Here.
Okay.
Well, let's fix you.
There's a surprise in here.
There's a surprise.
Ooh, it's like a gooey surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Gingerbread.
It's got pumpkin pie spices.
Pumpkin pie, gotcha, yeah.
So it's got ginger, nutmeg, cinnamon.
All the good stuff, yeah. But now, I'm curious about this gooey stuff in there. What is that?
Cream cheese. You like cream cheese and desserts, though. Come on now. I want to try.
That is really good.
Mmm.
It's very
spongy. Spongy.
Okay.
It's not dry at all. It's M-word. It is, but we don't say the M-word.
We do.
No,
Some people do.
No, I don't.
You can't force your ideas on us.
It's my channel. I ain't saying the word. 2 thumbs up. That's delicious. Steven?
Oh, sorry.
Thumbs up.
Go give me something to drink. Hold on. My little orange juice.
You just gonna drink it out of it?
Yeah, I'm gonna pour it in a cup.
Okay.
I've never been known to do nothing like that. I've never been improper a day in my life.
Never.
Here, you gonna let that sit there?
Dude, I'm trying to finish filming. Stop eating my stuff. So I give this 2 thumbs up.
I ain't got but 2 thumbs.
He's just gonna finish eating mine. I'll have to go get another one. I got one bite.
She's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You got 9 left.
No, there's 10 left. 2,
1,
4, 6, 8, 10.
There's 10 left.
Alright, we're out.
This is why I'm just an eater, okay? I just eat. That's all I do.
You can't think of fall and not think of apple cider. And this cake sounds divine. It has really high ratings on the internet, so I'm very excited about it. This is an apple cider donut cake. Okay, to get started, I'm going to be using my KitchenAid mixer. I need 1 yellow cake mix. This is a 15.25 ounce box. Next, you can use either 3/4 a cup of apple cider or a cup. If you go with 3/4 a cup, you're also gonna add in 1/4 a cup of room temperature water. But I want a stronger apple cider taste, so I'm gonna go in with a full cup of apple cider. I did make sure it was not cold, it's more room temperature. We need 1/2 a cup of applesauce. This is just plain applesauce, but if you wanted to use cinnamon, feel free. And lastly, we're gonna add in 3 large eggs. These are at room temperature. Let's go ahead and mix that up before we add in the other 2 ingredients that we need to add. Okay, now that that's incorporated, we are gonna add in 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, a tablespoon of brown sugar, and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Let's just mix that in together. Okay, we're gonna pour it into this bundt pan, but before we do, I need to grease it really well. I'm gonna use just a little bit of this spray. And then just for good measure, if you don't have this kind that already has the flour in it, you may wanna go ahead and flour your bundt pan as well on top of your spray. Let's pour the cake mix in. Okay, y'all, this is going in a 350-degree oven for 40 to 45 minutes. Let me fix that. Y'all know it's not Mandy trying to bake unless she makes a mess, right? While our cake is cooling, I am going to melt 1/2 stick of butter. You need 1/4 a cup of butter melted. Okay, so under here I put a little bit of wax paper to catch any of the butter and or the cinnamon sugar that I'm gonna be putting on here. If you don't have this Mr. Sticks cinnamon sugar already made up, you can always just make your own cinnamon sugar. Now, you don't wanna do this and then immediately put your cinnamon sugar on. You wanna let this soak in for just a minute or 2 and then put on your cinnamon sugar. Otherwise, your cinnamon sugar is gonna sink directly into your cake. Okay, I didn't quite use 1/2 a stick. I would say I used about 1/2 of that. So maybe just about 2 tablespoons of butter should be fine. I don't know, I guess it's up to you. So let's let that sit in there for just a second and then we're gonna sprinkle on some cinnamon sugar. Okay, I'm going kind of light with my sprinkling because I am gonna be making a glaze for this as well. That's gonna have plenty of sugar in it too. For our glaze, we just need 1 cup of powdered sugar. We're gonna use about 1/4 a cup of the apple cider. So I'm just gonna eyeball it and just whisk all of this together. Okay, I'm gonna taste it just to make sure I like it before I go and pour it on my cake. What is not to like? Oh my gosh, I could drink that. On top of our cake, we're just gonna drizzle our glaze. You could definitely just use this as a dipping instead if you wanted to, instead of drizzling it on top. Mine is not gonna be pretty because it's me, but that's okay. I'm pretty impressed with myself right now. I don't think you can screw this one up. It looks good. Let's give this a try. Okay, it's just me in here trying this now. Stephen and Cole are not readily available, so I'm just gonna give this a shot. Y'all, I see now why it's called an apple cider donut cake. This is like an apple cider donut. The apple cider-ness of it is not overpowering. It's not like, you know, almost like a too much. But I'm glad that I did 1 full cup of apple cider and not a little bit of water too. I really love the apple cider coming through. It is amazing. The glaze on top is so good. Make this for your friends, family. I'm telling you, they're gonna love it. Oh my goodness. What was that before I hit record?
Nothing.
What were you doing?
Nothing.
Yeah, okay. Do I look halfway decent?
Man, you always look good. Be looking right. All right, we're gonna tell y'all a funny story.
We are gonna tell
We ain't
y'all.
gonna tell too many more people about this.
Yeah, don't tell nobody. This is just between us
and the rest
and
of y'all.
you, okay? It's just y'all. just a handful of you.
All right.
So, if you're new here, when I do Batter Chatter, where I share dessert recipes, we usually either answer questions from y'all or tell y'all some type of story about us, something that's happened to us in the past. There was one time we talked about how we met. So today we're going to tell you a fun little story about when we lived in Fayetteville, North Carolina, when we were newlyweds.
I was in the Air Force. She was going to school at Fayetteville State University.
Fayetteville State University. I was a student there. He was in the Air Force. We lived in a small little duplex in Fayetteville. The rent was like $400 and something a month.
Right.
Tiny. It was 2 bedrooms, 2 baths. It was adorable. We loved it. We have fond memories there.
Oh, yeah.
We only lived in that duplex for maybe a year.
Yeah, something like that.
Maybe a little over a year before we moved to the apartment.
We decided to move up.
We moved on up
We
to
had
the
to move
apartment.
up to the apartment.
At the end of the hall, there was 2 bedrooms, one on either side. There was the master with the master bathroom, and then there was what we called the guest room, which was kind of like our office. Mm-hmm. And they were right across from each other at the back of the duplex.
Right.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay. We go to bed. You have to understand, bedtime for me has always been like 9 o'clock. I go to bed super early. So I'm guessing you probably stayed up later than me because he's a night owl. I'm not. Yeah. And he'd come to bed. And then he wakes me up in the middle of the night and he said, "Do you hear that?" And I said, "What?" I'm a little disoriented. He said, "There's voices coming from the guest bedroom." And so, of course, what do? You perk up. I was like, "What?"
I'm like in combat mode at this point. I'm like,
right, he's ready.
Oh, it's time to throw down,
He's ready. Hold on, let me see. I feel like you're kind of off. There we go.
Like,
all right.
I'm off kilter.
It's fine. So, of course, I'm like, "What?" So we're in bed like this. Right? Mm-hmm. And he said, "Just listen. We don't hear it. And then we hear it. And it's like
a
whispering voice.
Like whispering, yeah.
Yes.
It
sounds like it's whispering.
There's somebody in there.
We were convinced someone had broken into our house, into our duplex, because it was ground level, right? We were convinced there was somebody in there plotting on how to come and kill us.
Right.
Rob us, kill us, whatever.
Imagination has gone completely wild.
Well, yeah, like in the middle of the night, you don't think clearly.
Right, we're in like reaction mode.
Right.
We're in fighting mode.
Right,
like survival has kicked in now. So we run up to the kitchen area, to the front of the house.
Quietly. We're like looking at each other like,
right.
Go down. Shh, don't make a sound. Running to the front of the house. Get this. There's only one door way into our house, right? It's at the front.
Right.
We get up there and we're about to dart outside because we think there's people in our house going to kill us.
Well, you had the idea. You were like, "We got to go outside." And I was like, "No, don't go out there. We'll be waiting for you."
He said, "There's probably lookouts outside. Do not go outside." So then I freeze. I'm like in the front of the house like,
and this is all happening.
Stuck.
Yeah, this is all happening within just a matter of like seconds.
Yeah,
this is like
from the time he woke me up to this time, it's been 2 minutes tops.
Right,
we had to hear it and then we acted. We're standing in the front of the house.
So the only other option is we got to either call the police on a whim that we think someone's in the house.
Why didn't we call 911?
I don't know. I think we were just like in reaction survival mode. So I go in there.
Where do you go?
So I go in there and grab a knife. I go in there. I grab a knife. I run down the hallway.
Wait. And I remember at this point, this is back when you had home phones, okay? Because this was in 2000, 2001. I grabbed the cordless phone. I did have the phone ready. Yeah, I had not called 911. I do remember this now. I was standing there with it, and he was like, "Wait, let me just go." So he just like Rambo style, boom, goes.
I'm like, we just gotta do it. We just gotta do it. So here I go down the hallway with the knife, and I get close to the door, and I got the knife in my hand. I'm about ready to jump on in, and I'm like, okay, I got. I'm like flashback to movies and stuff, what's this going to look like, me busting in there with a knife. I start to ease in because I want to listen, He
wanted to see what they were saying.
See what they were going to say, what might happen, I listen. I get to listening. I'm like, wait a minute here. And I already kind of had this idea of what it might be.
I still had no clue.
Nobody's in the room. And I turn and I look, and my computer is on. Turns out that like a day before this happened, I had downloaded a screensaver on my PC that had this little dude that would come out and like crawl around on the screen and would like say random things and stuff.
In like alien voice.
Yeah.
I'm confused. I'm at the front of the house, like, why is he not busting in there, going in there to hurt somebody, right?
Yeah.
And he goes in,
And then I just hear him start laughing.
How can you not laugh?
And
at
I was
yourself at this
like,
point?
slowly go down the hall, and he's just standing there with the knife in one hand and pointing at the screen with the other and just laughing. And I go in there, and this little alien thing, he's like, and he was going, and he was like saying these different things that was like gibberish. It was gibberish.
Oh
but
my
it
gosh.
was quiet, and it was whispering. And that was our intruder who was going to kill us, we thought.
Yeah.
It was great.
We thought we were dead. You know, we had to go in there with
With
the
a butcher knife, yep.
Yeah. Back in the day when the only thing that we could make back then was a chili. When me and Mandy made this chili like every day.
Because we couldn't cook.
We could cook. Remember the time, we didn't tell them the story about the time when I went on a
Stop.
deployment.
Stop,
You
Steven.
didn't tell them that story. That's what you need to tell them. Tell them that story.
When he was in the Air Force, he would go on deployments. Now, we were very fortunate that all of his was mostly this was prior to 9/11.
Right.
This particular
this is all
deployment
training
especially.
deployments and stuff.
Yes. So he would only be gone for 2-3 weeks at a time.
Right.
I mean, it wasn't too bad. I was alone during that time, but it was just a couple of weeks. He left for a deployment, and I was 18. We got married when I was 18, 19. So I didn't know anybody there. I was very lonely. I'm trying to make it sound better. Stop.
I know, don't make it sound
Stop.
better.
So he left. Well, I wanted him to leave his car at our duplex because I didn't want people to know he was gone for 2 weeks. So he had a buddy pick him up to take him to go to deployment, right? Well, I left and I went to Food Lion. I got the groceries, the regular groceries.
You got some groceries.
But I got ice cream and Oreos and all the junk food. Like, I stocked it up because I was going to eat my feelings and my loneliness while he was gone. But then they called off the deployment for a day and they said, we're going to leave tomorrow instead. Well, he didn't tell me this. And his buddy just brought him back home and he just walks in and I'm like, what are you doing home? And he said, we're not leaving until tomorrow. And I was like, okay. I didn't think much of it. He goes in there into the kitchen.
I just go in there to raid the kitchen. I opened up. There's a big old thing of Oreos in there, all kinds of cookies
He
and
was
snacks and
like,
stuff.
wait a minute. You wait and buy all of this when I go out of town.
Like, what's up with that?
He gave me a hard time for that. But we still laugh about that to this day. And we hope y'all got a good little laugh.
Good times.
Yep. All right. So now we are going to make a third recipe. It is, well, you'll see in just a second. Okay, y'all, it is time for our third fall recipe. We've done a pumpkin one. We've done an apple one. Now we need to do a s'mores one because s'mores to me always comes in the fall. This one could not be any easier. It's just making a s'mores trifle. I bought a new trifle dish. I've never had one, and I've always made our mocha shuffle truffle. There's a recipe my family always asks me to bring for dessert, and it's called a chocolate mocha trifle something. Stephen always calls it the shuffle truffle. I've made it before, so I'll try and remember to link that below. But I always wanted a trifle bowl for that, and now I have one. The thing with trifle bowls is a lot of times they're on a stand, which makes them look really pretty, but it takes up a lot of space when you're trying to store it. I found this one on Amazon, and it's pretty deep, but it doesn't have anything on the bottom. And then it also has this lid. It's by Anchor, is it Anchor Hawking? Is that the name of it? You know what I'm talking about. I'll link it below if you're interested in getting a trifle bowl. I've always wanted one, just never gotten it. Found the perfect one. We're in business. Let's go. I already made a pan of brownies. This is just, you want to make a 9x13 pan of brownies, let them cool, and go ahead and cut them up. So that's what this is. Next, I need to make these 2 packages of instant chocolate pudding. You need about 4 cups of pudding, and I think this makes about 2 cups each. So we're gonna go ahead and make that up now, according to package directions. Great thing about instant pudding, it's gonna be ready in like 5 minutes. I'm gonna put this in the fridge. While we wait on the pudding to set up, I'm going to crush a sleeve of graham crackers. You don't wanna crush them too small, you just want them kind of broken. Now what we're gonna do is take a tub of whipped topping. I'm gonna take half of it for now and put it in this bowl. And then we're gonna take half of this marshmallow cream and mix it with our whipped topping. You know, I don't think I've ever bought marshmallow cream before. Okay, let me wash my hands. All right, y'all, now that I have made a mess, even though this is simple, it's kind of messy because you've got a lot of the different layers. But let me set this to the side. I'm gonna grab my trifle dish and we're gonna start assembling. On the bottom, we are going to do some brownies. I am gonna cut these up just a little bit, not cut them up, but like kind of break them up just a little bit. You don't want a full brownie on the bottom. Now we're gonna top our brownies with about half of the chocolate pudding. Now we're gonna add a layer of broken graham crackers. You wanna make sure this pudding layer is covered well with the graham crackers, which mine is. Now we're gonna take this whipped topping and marshmallow cream layer. Anytime I see a recipe for a trifle, I think of Friends, the episode where Rachel makes the English trifle and she puts beef sauteed with peas and onions. Is that what, I think it's peas and onions. It was awful. It tastes like feet, according to Ross. Okay, so let's just repeat the layers. Let's do the exact same thing. Let me show you what this looks like. Doesn't that look over the top good? But wait, there's more. So on top of this, by the way, noted, marshmallow cream is very messy and very sticky. On top of that, we are gonna put some roasted marshmallows. How are we gonna roast them? Good question. Very carefully is my answer. I have my oven preheating to broil, so I think it's what, 525? I'm spraying this small baking sheet with a generous amount of olive oil spray. Any type of nonstick spray will be fine. And we're gonna come in with a cup of mini marshmallows. And you want them spread out, but kind of close together. And we're gonna put them under the broiler for seconds, y'all, seconds. That's the trick. You don't put them in there for long. Hopefully this works out. Cross your fingers, your toes, let's go. And now I just stand here and wait. You see my scrawny legs in there? Yeah. Okay, hold on. I haven't done anything yet. All of the reviews said to be careful, so I'm scared to death. Okay, so I would say it probably took right at a minute. They came out, they're looking pretty toasty. So let's transfer them to the top of our trifle. It's a sticky mess, but it's working. It's not as pretty as the picture online because, well, let's face it, it never is. But I'm pretty proud because apparently a lot of people had problems with this part. Now we're gonna break up a Hershey bar to put on top to make it look even more s'mores-like, along with the rest of our graham cracker crumbs. Well, that's not half bad if I do say so myself. That right there looks divine. Now we're just gonna pop this in the fridge for a couple of hours before we try it, just because it needs to set up a little bit more. I wonder if my lid will go on. I can at least put it on top like that. I'm not gonna push it down though. And put this in the fridge and I'll be back for a taste test. Since Steven's not in here, I've gotta kind of do this myself, but I've had a couple of bites already off camera, sorry. But I try to get all the layers in one single bite. Y'all, it's like a giant s'more. So let's say you have a get together and y'all are wanting to do s'mores, but it's going to rain that weekend or whatever. This would be a great alternative. It makes a whole lot. I am supposed to see my mom and possibly my sister tomorrow, which is good because I'm going to be able to take a good portion of this to them so that they can have it as well, because we don't need to eat all of this. It makes a very large portion, but this would be great for some type of get together this fall or winter. That's gonna do it for this batter chatter. I hope you got a good laugh. I hope you got some new recipes to try. If you enjoyed this style of video, please give it a big thumbs up. When you give a video a thumbs up, it tells me thank you. It tells me that this is content that you enjoy seeing, and it really does help push my content out to others who may not already watch this channel. Thank you again to Warby Parker for sponsoring today's video. I love my Warby Parker glasses. I know you will too. It is totally free to try them on at home. So make sure that you go down to the description box and click on the link there. It's just warbyparker.com/Mandy and order your 5 glasses to be sent to you for a free in-home try-on. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.